53 degrees with an overnight low of 49. Tomorrow has partly cloudy skies and a high of 65. I'm Tim Barbalay, Southern home of the Orioles, Terps, and the most Ravens coverage. 105.7 The Fan.
And go to the Notre Dame Michigan game.
105.7 The Fan wants to give you $1,000.
Yeah, my wife's speaking in Ann Arbor.
Your dad bod. Sit your fat ass down on a brand new Lazy Boy. Order boneless wings twice. Supersize those fries. Beige. Dig it. Here's your code word to win $1,000. Chart. The 72881. For complete rules, go to 1057thefan.com/rules. Message
Come up for the pregame show.
the station that proudly flaunts what Budweiser gave them. 1057 The Fan. Better than killing a sixer before lunch.
Six-pack. I'd drink that on my way to buying a 30-pack.
1057 The Fan.
Pete Haney, 1057 The Fan, here on this lovely Turn It Up Tuesday. And as you can tell by the music, we have some breaking news for you on The Fan. Coming up on Thanksgiving morning at John Unitas Stadium, the 100th anniversary of the Turkey Bowl will take place as Calvert Hall and Loyola get together yet again. And we are proud to announce here on 1057 The Fan that we will have that broadcast for you live as it happens. Pregame starting at 9 o'clock. Kickoff is at 10. Rob Long will be the play-by-play voice. Vinny Serrato and Mike Popovic, Calvert Hall alum, will be the analyst. Tim Barbalay will be on the sidelines getting all of the news and notes as it happens. So it's 100th anniversary. Turkey Bowl, Calvert Hall, and Loyola. Joining us now, the athletic directors of the respective schools. For Calvert Hall, let's say hi to Lou Eckerl. And for Loyola, it is Bran Hall. Gentlemen, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for
Good
having
morning, it's a pleasure.
And since I went to Calvert Hall for a year, Lou, before they threw me out and told me not to come back, it was a very stunning turn of events. We'll start with you. It's the 100th anniversary of this game. It's one of the most storied high school football rivalries in the United States. Talk about what this rivalry means to you and what it means to the city of Baltimore and the community surrounding.
Yeah, it's an exciting week for us, or an exciting time anyway. I mean, everybody just gets all worked up about it. It's a big deal. It's been going on for so long. We're looking forward to it, and our guys will be ready.
Brant?
Yeah, I agree with Lou. I think it's a great opportunity for our boys. Just the festivities that surround the game, and then being able to play in the 100th edition of the Turkey Bowl and being a part of this rivalry is something that's very special.
What's going to be different this year for the 100th? Is there any? I'm sure there's special stuff leading up to it. What are the special things that are going to be happening?
We had an event last Friday.
Last Friday.
Last Friday between the two schools, which was pretty cool. Very well attended. Just an opportunity for us to share some of our memories that we've had. And then also, I think there will be some pregame festivities that may be a little different during the game. But at the end of the day, it's the 100th playing of the rivalry, the football game, and that's what means the most.
What's the record right now?
I know we have 49 wins, so we're trying to get to 50. We're trying to be the first school to get to 50, but I think it's 49, 42, and 8 or something like that.
Yes, yeah. And it's there was really a neat video that both schools kind of made that was very interesting, and it was very exciting to watch, to go back those 100 years and to watch the different players and the alums to get together, and the football alums and talk about the game. And it was also funny the way that, like, one year one of the players was like, Loyola was like, we never lost when we played Calvert Hall. And then they talked to a Calvert Hall guy, we never lost the whole time we were there. It just went back and forth like nobody ever lost. But we do know that there were some losses going on at that time.
Lou, talk about the origin of the game and how it became the rivalry that it is today, 100th matchup, and why it has been so intense. Because you have Curley, you had Cardinal Gibbons, where Don was the coach before Mount St. Joe. Of course, there are other schools in the Catholic League. Why is this the rivalry that resonates above every other?
Well, I think the proximity of both schools being close together, even though I think both of them started downtown at one time and then eventually moved out to the Towson area. The game wasn't always played, and it was played at some different places. I'm fortunate enough to know that my dad actually played for Loyola, and he told me stories. Then it went to M&T Bank, now it's at Towson, back and forth. So it's covered a great area, it's impacted a lot of communities. Our alums come together from all over the country, whether it's watching it on TV or listening on the radio. Now it's live streamed also. It's an exciting time. It's around Thanksgiving, and if you win, your turkey tastes a little bit better. And if you lose, it doesn't taste quite as well.
A little dry, I guess.
Right,
a little dry.
too.
Now, is this like rivalry, like I was Notre Dame, Miami rivalry, San Fran, Dallas? We didn't like them. Do you like Calvert Hall, or just not for that week?
Most days, I think we get along. I don't know if we definitely use the term like, but no, I think that the schools are so close, and especially nowadays, I think that the boys know each other more than they did back, say, in the 80s or the 90s, because you have all the different AAU teams, and they have personal relationships with each other, but there's still that genuine dislike during the game.
Well, like
on
leading up to
Thanksgiving
the game, you know, like I know when I was in San Fran, or you know, I was hoping that Miami would lose every game, and so did our players. Our players hated the Cowboys, and they hoped they lost every game. Do you like when Calvert Hall's lost 2 this year? You're like, yeah.
Well, I'm a Loyola guy, so if they lose, of course, you know,
Right.
it kind of makes me happy. But there's
Me
a certain
too.
there's a certain respect, excuse me, that both schools have for each other. You know, especially the communities. But you know, it is competition, and you want to win. So yeah, we want to win the game.
Vinny and Haney, 105.7 The Fan, here on this Turn It Up Tuesday, just tuning into the program. Proud to announce that we, here on 105.7 The Fan, will have the 100th Turkey Bowl live on our radio station. Pregame starts at 9 o'clock as Calvert Hall takes on Loyola. Fran Hall, Athletic Director, Loyola Dons, and Calvert Hall Cardinals AD, Lou Eckerls, joining us. Now, Lou, you've been at Calvert Hall for a while, baseball coach, won a lot of games there. We didn't want to start bragging about how awesome you were in that position. But
I have a little bit different perspective than Brand has.
Yeah, go
My
ahead.
dad went to Loyola, you know, great guy. My son, his grandson, went to Calvert Hall. So my dad played for the undefeated team for Harganen. He had the game ball from the Turkey Bowl. I actually, with my son and daughter, went back to Loyola, and my dad, with his buddies, presented that ball back to Loyola. It's in their showcase right now. So he had a great career at Loyola. My son, on the same page or whatever, went to Calvert Hall, and his grandfather rooted for him, and he never lost to Loyola. There comes that statement again.
So it's kind of like Earl Thomas going back to Seattle last week. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
No, I think there's more respect in it.
It is, and I'd like to say, watching my son grow and play in that game, they're all together. With the difference that we see now in today's society with the social media, they're all playing each other in the summer. They're playing with each other in summer. They know each other, as Brand said. There's a total respect for each other, more than a hatred or a non-respect for sure.
Well,
So
the
I
thing
think-
that I know is, I mean, kids that I coached at Falston, you know, I've got kids on both teams that I've coached at Loyola and at Calvert
And they're
Hall.
playing for you. That's what my point is.
Right.
Yeah, you know. And I think over the years, you'd be surprised, it hasn't been a lot, but I think it's been a number where you look at a car going down the street, and there's an L on one side and a Cardinal on the other. So you know that there's kids at both schools.
Now, when 10 years, 20 years after they leave, then the rivalry is basically just game day, right? I mean, otherwise everybody kind of gets along pretty well as alums.
Well, I'm not an alum. I think they do. And I think when you open the program for Turkey Bowl, you're going to see a lot of businesses in there with a lot of Calvert Hall Loyola working together.
Yeah.
So, you know, even though that one day, I know it's for that day for sure, that there's going to be a battle.
Plus, you know,
But
the
after
thing's
that-
interesting to me
after
about
that,
about
and then-
Baltimore, which I didn't realize until you get here, is that, you know, like when you ask somebody from Baltimore, where'd you go to school? Most people say what college they went to. No, I went to Calvert Hall or I went to Loyola. It's what high school you went to. I mean, that's what's different about Baltimore.
Vinny and Haney, 105.7 The Fan, 100th Turkey Bowl. We will have it live for you on Thanksgiving Day. Our coverage starts At 9 o'clock, Rob Long, play-by-play, Vinny Serrato, and Mike Popovic will be your analysts with Tim Barbalace on the sidelines. There is a book, by the way. It's the 100th Turkey Bowl, The Storied Rivalry, written by Nelson Coffin, and both Calvert Hall and Loyola are offering this for sale, right, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Right, it's an easy purchase on our website. There's a nice little button. You just click at either school. You can easily, pick it up.
Lou Eckerl, AD, Calvert Hall, Brant Hall, AD, Loyola. Gentlemen, good to see you. Lou, go Cardinals. No offense there, Brant. When we come back, Don Davis is going to be joining us. And then Anthony Zayal, the head coach of Loyola, is going to be joining us. So we're going to hear about this game from a coach's perspective. As Don's been around the neighborhood for a long time. Anthony's got this team back and ready to roll. So we're going to talk about the Turkey Bowl. You can hear it. 105.7 The Fan. Thanksgiving morning. Our coverage starts at 9 o'clock. It's Vinny and Haney. Turn it up Tuesday.
Good luck. I'll see you Friday night.
Grant.
Your turn. But you're not alone. Join 105.7 The Fan and Dr. Drew for I'm Listening.
No, as long as they don't make he and I stand face to face.
It's gonna be like a wave. Like stories of those who are tired of suffering quietly and the people who are here to help. I'm Listening live with Dr. Drew Thursday, November 21st at 11 a.m.
Thank you, that was great.
You could be here in person. Get your pair tickets to the exclusive event at 1057thefan.com.
Hey, that's my college colors. That's my college colors. You want to do another? You want to do another mic check?
Coaches, can I get you just to talk for a second in the mic just to make sure, and do it like you would be talking when you're on the air. So if you're very loud, bend it up. There we go. Go ahead. Test. That's just test.
1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Go ahead, coach.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You good?
Where do we look?
Is that?
Where do you want?
Probably right here. Yeah, we got Facebook Live, but you don't have to worry about looking at the camera. Just talk to them. That's all you need to do.
Don, how many years have you been?
You were a kid.
Coach, how long have you been on board? 3
And head coach.
Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
Now pairing Jack's device to Bluetooth speaker.
Whoa, sick Ravens speaker. Where'd you get that? M&T Bank. Get a limited edition Ravens Bluetooth speaker when you open a new checking account.
Now pairing Roman to M&T Bank.
Any account? And you can choose the account that works best for you.
Now pairing Roman to no overdraft fees.
You can even get the exclusive Ravens debit card.
Now pairing Ryan to Ravens debit card.
That's right. Get the exclusive Ravens debit card with the design of your choice when you open any new personal checking account at M&T Bank. Just choose the account that best fits your needs. And right now you'll also receive a limited edition Bluetooth speaker. TV. Watch any M&T Bank branch or visit mtb.com/Ravens. M&T Bank.
My son's gonna play
All ready to wear Ravens. Offer subject to change. As my wife,
Is Chuck around? Tell him Chuck
Yeah, I'll do you.
In the market for a used vehicle, look no further than Plaza Ford in Bel Air for the highest quality vehicles and the most transparent pricing. Family owned and operated for more than 85 years, Plaza Ford has been built on honesty and integrity with their customers. You'll find the area's largest selection of certified pre-owned Fords and a friendly sales staff that's available to help you, not sell you. They'll find the perfect vehicle.
I was going to stalk you guys at
Every
Loyola
purchase
this
comes
morning.
with free oil
Charles Street
changes,
was all
a
jammed up. I couldn't even make
12-month
it up to the
warranty, and a
school.
multi-foot safety inspection, and so much more. Our relationship their state-of-the-art service department will keep your vehicle running smoothly and safely for years to come. Customers have trusted Plaza for 85 years. Come see Ron. Stop in for a test drive today on Route 1 in Bel Air, right next to Walmart, or visit plazaford.com. That's plazaford.com.
Give about a minute.
This is Kyle Richardson. Transitioning out of the NFL can be challenging. Sometimes it's hard to focus and stay on track with what matters most, your health. My friends at LifeMed Institute help me regain control of my health.
When we're done,
we refocus and increase my energy after the NFL. I personally enjoy customized IV nutrient therapy. Call today and set up your wellness day.
Jeremy Conn here, and I agree with Kyle. LifeMed Institute offers testosterone, hormone therapy, men and women's sexual health, and IV therapy. Visit LifeMed Institute or call 410-575-1200. It's working for me.
Their basketball team is terrible, but their baseball program is really good. They lost to the state. I think 2 years ago. And their best player got kicked out of the game for a fight down at first base. Second person that called, first baseman hit him. He turned around and then swing at him, and then he got him. So, but in practice, second practice of the season, he's a pitcher that comes
Vinny and Haiti, 105.7 The Fan. Turn It Up Tuesday. It is the 50th anniversary of the release of Led Zeppelin 2. So why wouldn't you play a whole lot of love here on this Turn It Up Tuesday? But we are here on 105.7 The Fan. Big announcement, football related. It is the 100th anniversary of the Turkey Bowl, Loyola and Calvert Hall. We, 105.7 The Fan, will broadcast that game live starting at 9 o'clock. Kickoff is at 10 o'clock. Rob Long will be on the voice, play-by-play. Vinny Serrato and Mike Popovic will be your analysts with Tim Barbalais on the sidelines. Bob Haney and Vinny Serrato. We talked to the ADs a few minutes ago. Now let's bring in the head coaches. First, for Calvert Hall, 13th year on the sidelines. He's Coach Donald Davis. Don, what's happening?
Morning.
Good to see you. And his 3rd year as the head coach, 5th year with the program. Vinny, introduce the head man of the Dons, turning the program back to
Anthony Zao, alumnus, LSU.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Defensive lineman at LSU, playing Auburn this weekend in a big one, Bob.
11.5-point favorite for the Tigers. LSU Tigers, that is.
Go Tigers.
All right, Don, talk about this game. 13th year for you. You spent 7 years at Cardinal Gibbons, the late great Cardinal Gibbons, before you got to the Hall. What does this game mean to you as a coach? Certainly bragging rights are a big part of it, but the 100th anniversary of it on top of it.
I think it's just a blessing to be a part of. It's something that brings both school communities and the entire Baltimore community together. I'm just blessed, I know Anthony is as well, to be the shepherd of our programs at this very, very important time, both in our school's history and in the history of the rivalry.
Coach, how do you go about, or I guess, when do you start prepping your team for that game? When you start talking about it? Because the kids talk about it all the time. When do you start talking and zeroing in on Calvert Hall?
So we really kind of focus on being the best we can be from the beginning of preseason camp. Because I always tell the kids, I know how much the game matters, I know how much they want to win, but they're such a talented team, they're so well coached that if you don't practice well from the very beginning, you have no shot at the end of the year. So we try to kind of give those kids snippets of what good play looks like all throughout the year, starting from day one. We keep an eye on how they're doing throughout the season, but in terms of game prep, that'll happen in a few weeks, but in terms of making sure we can be the best that we can be, that happens in August.
Well, give us a little rundown on how Loyola's done thus far.
So we're 6-1. We just suffered our first loss on Saturday to St. Christopher School from Richmond, Virginia. Really physical, tough football game. Outside of that game, I think we've had a good season so far. We've played really well. Had some good leadership from our quarterback, Jordan Moore, and some other just key figure. Kyrie Umoja, defensive back for us, has been terrific. He's a senior, and Kean Callahan, who's one of the quietest players on our team, is quietly anchoring our defense. He's just a really amazing kid, and fantastic football player as well. So we played well. Saturday was a little bit of a setback in terms of the win-loss column, but I'm really happy with our progress so far. But we still have 5 weeks to go to we play Calvert Hall, and I told Coach Davis earlier to take it easy on us.
Donald, give us a status report on the Cardinals.
Right now we're at 5-2. We're coming off a huge win on Friday night against a tremendous Spalding team. We started the year off in Pittsburgh with a win against a historically good program in Woodland Hills, which got us going. We were able to win a couple and really get going, and we dropped a few in a row because the league is just so tough against St. Joe and McDonough, and then we bounced back last week against Spalding. But you know, we've been playing hard. We've been trying to do the same thing Coach is talking about, just get a little bit better every week. Chop wood.
Anthony, how'd you wind up in Baltimore after playing at LSU?
So if you would have told me 5 years ago that I'd be living in Baltimore, I would have said you were a liar. But my wife had a fantastic work opportunity to work at Loyola University as a professor in education. And so she had that great opportunity, and we talked about it. And it's about 4 months after we were married that she got the job here. And so I really wanted to be a good husband and support her in really advancing her career. And when I moved here, I knew nothing about the schools, and started applying and applied to the Archdiocese, and some people told me about Loyola, and that's God just kind of leading me this way. So, you know, that's kind of how life works sometimes.
100th anniversary of the Turkey Bowl coming up Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving morning, 10 o'clock kickoff. We will have it for you here on 105.7 The Fan. Our coverage begins at 9 o'clock. It is Calvert Hall. It is Loyola. And Donald, when you came over from Gibbons, certainly you're a Baltimore guy, you understood how this rivalry between Calvert Hall and Loyola resonated. Was it bigger than you even anticipated once you became a part of it?
Well, I was blessed to grow up watching the rivalry. You know, again, I'm a Baltimore kid, so I've gone to the game, you know, when it was played alongside the City Poly game as well. And then I was fortunate to play in the game as a student at Calvert Hall, which was a blessing for me as well. So I understood it even coming back as a coach. I was really, really blessed to be the head football coach at Cardinal Gibbons. Really, they gave me an opportunity to cut my teeth, and just the opportunity to come home to Calvert Hall is just something you can't pass up. To be a part of the rivalry, to coach in the A Conference, to coach the kids at Calvert Hall, and to coach alongside the guys that I coach with, you know, I couldn't turn that down. So coming back, I knew it was going to be, you know, I was a part of that great rivalry, sort of on the coaching end of it. But yeah, you know, you look at the preparation and how much the interest is for alums and the school communities and what it means to them. It's not something you can really quantify until you're really a part of it.
Now, what will your Thanksgiving Day be like? I guess depends win or lose. What's
Before or after?
After.
Okay, after, well, so the game, it starts at 10, so I typically wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere in there, try to eat a light breakfast, and hopefully if we win, you know, after the game, the first thing I'll probably do is take a nap, because it's a long day, it's a long season. We've already made plans this year that my wife said she's not making any traditional Thanksgiving meal until Friday, because she's like, I don't want to do all that. So we're gonna take a nap, probably eat takeout on Thanksgiving, and get prepped that way. So we're focused in on the game, and we have some family coming in, and I think it's gonna be just fun to celebrate family, and I'm really blessed to work at a school like Loyola Blakefield.
Don, when will you? I'm sorry, Coach. Don, when will you be having your victory meal?
Just.
My job is to chop wood. Do we prepare to win? Absolutely. We do. Our guys, our kids, our coaches, our staff, myself, we go to work every day with only one goal in mind, and that's putting ourselves in position to be victorious. But I don't think about either winning or losing or after the game. My job is to put us in position day to day. So today, I'm going to go out today, and we're going to try to have a great practice. And we're going to try to get better through this rain, and look forward to our game this week. And hopefully that'll get us in position to do any of the other things that people want to talk about on November 28th.
You don't want to be like Zach Brown.
Oh, no. He was running his mouth and he got unemployed right after the fact. Coming up on Thanksgiving morning here on 105.7 The Fan, we are proud to announce we will be the home of the 100th Turkey Bowl, Calvert Hall, Loyola, at Johnny Unitas Stadium on the campus of Towson University. Our coverage begins at 9 a.m. Kickoff is at 10. Rob Long, play-by-play boys, Vinny Serrato, and Mike Popovic. They will be your analysts. Coaches, any closing thoughts?
No, I just want to thank you guys for hosting us, and I think it's really awesome for high school kids to get this kind of exposure, to get this kind of notoriety and media coverage for an event. And I think that's a really special trait that I hope they remember for their entire lives. So thank you guys for the interest and promotion of the game.
Donald?
I want to echo Coach Zayu's thoughts, but as well, I just want to thank everybody that's been a part of it over the last 100 years, the families, the friends, our school communities, the administrations, anyone who supported the kids who play in it and the schools that participate in it. I pray that everyone, regardless of what happens in the game, that everyone has a blessed holiday, that they remember what it's truly about, and it's people coming together, and that they enjoy the camaraderie and the competition, but they remember just what family and holidays are all about, and they enjoy that and appreciate it.
And at the end of the day, they're both outstanding schools and prepare kids for life.
Amen.
And there's a book, the 100th anniversary of the Turkey Bowl, the storied rivalry, Nelson Kaufman. Go through the respective websites of Loyola and Calvert Hall and get the book and enjoy the history of some great Baltimore football over the years. Gentlemen, we appreciate it. Thank you for coming in here. Coaches, thank you. Good luck to both of you. And don't forget, 9 o'clock. Thanksgiving morning, we'll have the coverage for you. It is the 100th Turkey Bowl, live from Johnny Unitas Stadium, 105.7 The Fan. We're going to have the call. Calvert Hall and Loyola. It's Vinny and Haiti, 105.7 The Fan. Turn it up Tuesday. Vinny and I will be back after this.
Vinny and Haiti on 105.